Hello, hello. Otto Chenault. Looks like you got an upgrade. I believe two or three of you, actually three of you got upgrades overnight. I don't see the other two, but I don't really have time to check. Got some amazing new stuff. Archaix veterans, you're gonna see actual stuff here today. Talks about a lot of the things that we've discussed. So I do have one thing I do need to find real quick. Little list that I had. Got so many things on my desktop ready to share. There it is. I found it. Didn't want to lose that. So, orbs. You know what? We're gonna have to take this back a little bit. I'm gonna share my screen. Off the muscle, I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen and get this out there for you guys to check out before we just really get started. And I'm gonna have to move some of this. Even having three screens isn't enough for this presentation. Yeah, let me share my screen real quick. Find what I'm looking for. So that clip is from a video previously done with Ashton Forbes. Ashton Forbes is a pretty interesting guy. He's on point. He's all over Twitter. He's all over X. He's real big on the disappearance of MH370. You guys know what I'm talking about. He's real big on that. Wow, I just got way too many things open. Hold on. All right, now I can share my screen. Let's see. I'll be sharing my screen a whole lot in this presentation. So, I'm just gonna tell you straight up that you're gonna see a whole lot of things related to orbs that you've never made the connections to before. It's some of you have because you've seen many of my prior presentations. I'm gonna show them to you, but this is the video that Ashton Forbes and I did together. This is the MH. Remove that from studio. This is the MH. There we go. We can blow that up a little bit. That's a pretty recent video from a whole slew of podcasts I did, showing that orbs working in tandem had disappeared the Malaysian Airlines. And in that video, which I'll be providing the links for this and all the other relative videos I'm about to show you from the past, I'll provide the links in the description box and the pinned comment so you can check these out. But there's a lot of evidence that other aircraft and even ocean-going vessels have all disappeared under the exact same circumstances. This isn't an anomaly. Ashton Forbes has uncovered a lot of evidence of technological advancements in by the U.S. government, different patents and all that. And this is where he and I diverge. We're both in agreement that orbs were responsible for the disappearance of that deal, but we're in disagreement about the provenance of what orbs actually are. I'm a simulationist, and it goes in tandem with my paradigm because I've documented the orb phenomenon as going back many centuries, way before we were technologically advanced. And the orbs have to do with a whole bunch of things, as I will show you in a minute. So let me, for those of you who have been on my channel for a while, you will know about these videos here. Especially my Archaix veterans, they don't miss anything. These videos here, I'm going to be providing the links for because you're going to be very interested when you see this video footage that's relative to all this. Haunted Skies, AIX Lives. This is an old video of mine but it's about super constructions hidden in the skies that create all kinds of phenomena that we interpret as natural, when it's not natural at all. We're in a construct and it's tightly controlled. Also, super constructions hidden in the skies. Another video, overseers hidden in the lying skies. These are all Archaix videos. They are packed with information. Agriglyphs and the mowing devil. This is about crop circles. Shocking enigmas ignored by science. We're going to see a clip from that in here. It's real short, like 15 seconds. But and then the last one, vectored out of thin air. Flight 370. This is the one I did with Ashton Forbes. Just wanted to show those. At the end of this video, as soon as this video is over, as it's processing before the live chat appears, I will put all 6 of those video links in the description box and the pinned comment for those who want to check them out. I know my videos are hard to find. I got 900 something videos. I get it. So I want these videos here. Every link will be posted on Twitter in a post on X with the links and in the description box and pinned comment of this video. That's why I prepared this one image right here. So we know, I'm going to tell you that for those of you who don't know, just going to be real honest with you here. There are many phenomena in our world of experience. Man, this dude with this motorcycle is really getting on my nerves. I'm about to say something to him. Matter of fact, I'm about to text the neighbor and tell him to go get on his ass. I'm not feeling this today. Right now. I got somebody about to go tell that dude something. All right. So, yeah, it doesn't even matter. The studio's got 5 layers of material, 5 layers in the floor, in the ceilings. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. There's no way to actually soundproof a building, not a wood building. Did a pretty good job though. All the different phenomena, guys. Bigfoot. Did you know that Bigfoot is associated to orb phenomena? You didn't know that? Check it out on YouTube. Just put Bigfoot orbs and you'll see videos about it. Why would Bigfoot sightings have anything to do with orbs? Well, the common denominator that I found is that Bigfoot is the hide and seek champion, meaning hound dogs have smelled Bigfoot and tried to run him down and can't. He puts off an odor. Hair samples have been found. Big tracks, plaster casts have been made of tracks. Thousands of people all over the world. So many different cultures from different time periods. Not just Bigfoot. You got Sasquatch, Yowies, Abominable Snowman. It's a Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Abominable Snowman, Yowies. I'm forgetting them all. Yeti. There's more than that. But it's known everywhere. Bigfoot's known everywhere. So, it's very interesting to find out that Bigfoot, which has never been captured but always seen, meaning we're dealing with something that has the ability to enter and exit different mathematical constructs. So that's compelling to me. You can call it transdimensional, you can call it whatever. But if something is able to introduce a whole new mathematical, basically a body inserted into this construct, it would be able to do all kinds of things for which would appear to us to be very differently. So you'd have to see the demonstrations between what a 3-dimensional thing would look like to a 2-dimensional observer, or what a 3-dimensional an observer in 3 dimensions, how it would actually perceive something that was in a 5th dimension. Bigfoot and orbs, there's a connection. Crop circles and orbs, there's a connection. I'm going to show it to you today. I'm going to show you some amazing things about crop circles. Missing time dilations. People who saw orbs out in the country or from their bedroom windows, and then the orb was a ex post facto recollection. It's a memory. They wake up, they're missing time, they don't know what happened, but when they wake up, they remember seeing an orb or looking at an orb when they had lost consciousness. UFO abduction phenomenon, also very prevalent with the existence of orbs. Orbs are everywhere. We find orbs in the historical record, in all kinds of ancient documents and woodcuts and engravings and paintings. Orbs are prominent in the sky. We can actually make the link to New Testament, where we're told that Satan is the prince of the air, and that we fight against the principalities of the air. These ideas that have come down to us over millennia have translated into us in the last 2,000 years as religious texts, and we have literally, because of things that we do not understand, we attribute it to the evil, the kingdom of darkness, which would be the prince of the principalities of the air. This is one of Satan's titles. So Satan just means adversary. And we have a lot of evidence that orbs are adversarial. And I will show that to you in this video. We have for those who don't know, in those prior videos that I just showed you, we have evidence of orb activity in and out of volcanoes before the volcanoes erupt. We have orbs recorded inside tsunamis. How is that possible? Inside a tsunami? Yeah, it's wait a minute. I think I even have something on that. I sure do. I sure do. Let me get back in here. This is real. This is real short, but it'll work. I do have. Let me present video. I'm gonna stop that screen. Present video. Got so many. 1707. 1707 is connected to 2040 by the sun cycle. The UK formed from England, Scotland, and Wales. Volcanic activity on Santorini. This is in the middle of the Mediterranean. A tsunami appears off the coast of Wakayama, Japan, and spectators report that there is a large luminous ball of light inside the tidal wave. Yeah, that's in one of those prior videos and a lot of other examples as well. So let me remove that one from the field. Told you I got a lot to show you. That's the only clip of me. All the other clips are of other stuff. Let's see. So interesting. Just so interesting. Yeah, there's a little old, let's see, on the screen share again. Remove that. I'm getting fast at this. All right. Going back to screen share. All right. Yeah. So we have documentation from the historical record that an incoming tsunami in 1707, the Japanese looked and saw a glowing ball inside the tidal wave as it came to shore. That's not dissimilar from 2011. In one of those videos that I just showed you that I'm going to provide the links for, earlier videos on my channel, I show a video clip of a tsunami in 2011 where some white ghost-like object came out of the water, went up here in between buildings, disappeared behind a building, come up on the top of a building while people were drowning and dying all over the flooding coast. That exact same little specter and that little ghost was videotaped in Los Angeles a couple days ago. Creepy. I'm gonna direct you to the video. I want you to go to his channel and watch that video. I'm gonna show you his channel and all that. I don't need to steal his content and put it over here. I'm going to direct you guys to him because it's very compelling. It's the exact same specter that came out of that tsunami and was going around like it was celebrating the death all throughout Japan. It's right off the coast of LA, going in and out the water, flying through the air, and it's the same exact little specter. So, yeah, it's crazy. We're going. Yeah, I told you, you got some mind explosions today, guys, on this material that I'm showing you today. We're just getting started. I'm just trying to get some of these little things out the way before I start the main presentation. All right, let's see. Now, from the historical record, I've shown you examples of William Cortis's research. I know this is just an illustration, but this is what they had to deal with, guys. This is what they had to deal with. This is William Cortis right here, Unusual Natural Phenomena, the handbook. This is William Cortis too from the Source Book Projects. These are all scientific reports. All this is William Cortis. Very rare, hard to find books. All these are about different unusual phenomena, unusual artifacts, out of place artifacts, technologically advanced stuff that's been found in the archaeological record, parts, anomalies. That's what it's all about. These are about weather, unusual weather, ancient infrastructure, neglected geological anomalies, biological anomalies, earthquakes tied to unidentified sounds like skyquakes, rare halos and mirages, anomalous rainbows, Carolina Bays, Mima Mounds, Incredible Life, the Handbook of Biological Mysteries. My favorite is Strange Artifacts. And then my second favorite is Ancient Man, a Handbook of Puzzling Artifacts. I can do 20 videos out of that book. Mysterious Universe, Unknown Earth, and then these two. And Remarkable Luminous Phenomena has literally over 100 accounts in this book. Let me blow this up. In this book of orbs in the last 500 years. Orbs being seen, people playing with them, interacting with humans. Different cultures call them fairy lights, call them all kinds of things. But yeah, there's a massive amount of information in this book from the scientific record of orb activity, and the orbs that are recorded in this book and in remarkable luminous phenomena in nature in this book as well. These orbs, man, they're I know it sounds crazy. I know what it sounds like when I talk about it, but these orbs, they're responsible for volcanic eruptions. They're responsible for tornadoes breaking out, which is an effect. Tornadoes are not a cause, they're an effect. This vortex, what these orbs can do, the spinning action that they do, what has been recorded and observed. Volcanoes, tornadoes, tsunamis, earthquakes. Orbs are all in the earthquake literature. Orbs are everywhere. Also, in these books, especially Charles Fort too, they didn't call them orbs. Remember, he documented all this over 100 years ago. This is Book of the Damned, Wild Talents, Lo, and Strange Lands. This is all 4 books, or New Lands. Yeah, it's New Lands. All 4 books by Charles Hoy Fort, right here. One of my heroes, the father of Fortean studies. Packed full of instances of yellow spheres and fireballs. And yes, they're attached to earthquakes, volcanoes, missing aircraft, missing boats, missing persons, cattle mutilations, and especially they have been documented playing inside of very severe thunderstorms. They've been documented. These books are fantastic, packed. We're not going to get into a whole lot. I'm going to show you video clips today. But for those who want to go deeper into this study, or just watch my previous 6 videos where I do quote out of these books, it's very compelling. So you guys know in Archaix, this is a multidisciplinary approach. Science today is compartmentalized, and being so compartmentalized, it is rigidly stringent in maintaining the control measures to keep every single expert in their field independent, and basically with a complete lack of knowledge of any other expert's field of expertise, or their knowledge of their sphere of knowledge. A geologist knows almost nothing about botany. A botanist knows almost nothing about paleobotany. A paleobotanist knows absolutely nothing about astronomy, and this is why it's kept. Knowledge has been compartmentalized to control the output of those who are participating in scholastic affairs. It's exactly how NASA passed off one of the greatest psyops known to man. They rigidly compartmentalized everybody's duties, and they stuck them in a tier system where if there was no need for you to know something on a lower tier, there was no requirement of a higher tier to tell you anything. You just did your job. So the people on the lower tiers had no idea what was really happening as they funneled up their work up the pyramid of deception, and only the small few at the top absolutely knew that it was a psyop. Everybody else thought they were really doing a great work for mankind. They had no idea. So let's see. Yeah, these are the common denominators. The Bigfoot, crop circles, missing time dilations, alien UFO abduction, ancient Aryans, all that, tornadoes, volcanoes, earthquakes, severe thunderstorms, missing aircraft, missing ocean-going vessels, cattle mutilation. And I'm pretty sure I missed some. I'm pretty sure that some of you can think of some I haven't even thought of. These are all phenomena that are mysterious. And yet, the common denominator between them all is that they've been associated multiple times and very well documented to be connected to orbs, orb activity. So these orbs, they act with intelligence. I'm not saying they're intelligent. I'm not even saying they're alive. They act with intelligence. To me, the intelligence is behind whoever is controlling them. I have told you guys in the past that I am of the firm opinion. I think I'm still sharing my screen. But I'm of the firm opinion. No, I'm not. I'm of the firm opinion that these are like rangefinders outside the construct. They appear to us as orbs, which is a concentration of energy, maybe a whole series of vortices, and they move erratically because they're not attached to our physics at all. They're being operated from outside the construct by remote overseers. And it's like they're using technology, which is a rangefinder, which is why they move so erratic. But over the Bermuda Triangle, that's another common denominator. Orbs have been seen all in and out the Bermuda Triangle. As a matter of fact, Christopher Columbus was the very first person in the Americas to document the presence of orbs over the Atlantic. So these little fireballs or glowing spheres, they have many properties, and it seems like they're being controlled from a remote location, and this is why they can't exactly hone in on things. But when they do, when they can lock onto a target, as we saw with Malaysian Flight 370, they can create like a portal and take somebody right out of this mathematical construct into a different one. Gone. This has been going on in the Bermuda Triangle for a while, and the common denominator is orbs. Orbs have been seen by sailing vessels and ocean liners as traveling under the water. They're not restricted to the air. They travel underwater as well. As a matter of fact, I should have pulled out John Keel's book, which I don't even know where it's at. There it is, Our Haunted Planet. I didn't even think about that. He talks about the orbs as well. I got way too many books on top of that. I'm not going to take that out. I got too many books crammed on top of that book. Our Haunted Planet by John Keel also discusses the orbs and the orb phenomena. Why this is all very interesting to me right now is as my Archaix veterans know, you already know I've done 6 videos where we've talked about the orbs and their relationship, with catastrophism, disasters, missing persons, vanishing vessels. And yet, there is a slew of video clips coming in from all over the Los Angeles area showing the orbs. What's going on in Los Angeles right now? Yeah, fires. Everybody wants to blame the elite. Everybody wants to blame the government. Everybody wants to say, "Hey, man, it's got to be because of these 15-minute cities. Los Angeles is one of them. It's got to be." I don't know. I'm not promoting that. I just don't know. The Olympics are coming in 2028. They got to burn all this area so they can make rent. I don't know. Sometimes, like Project Looking Glass, like my software Office, as I've demonstrated, what if someone here is already knowing future events in the collective, and because they already know what's about to happen in different areas, they have fail-safe narratives already in place that you can blame. I'm really talking about Adjustment Bureau type stuff. Same thing Charles Fort talked about in 1929 in Book of the Dead. He literally said, after going through thousands of scientific reports, he literally said that he thinks that there's an occult police force here, and that strange figures will appear to you if you have seen something you're not supposed to see. And the whole Men in Black concept is right here in Charles Fort. He talks about it. He was perplexed about how unusual it was that it's like no matter what strange phenomena is observed by many people, there's always a narrative in place to describe what it was. And the collective just accepts it and keeps going on. Those who are awake are ignored because they're always a minority. Guys, I'm not making this up. Charles Fort discussed these theories 100 years ago. He called them an occult police force. That right there is all. This is the whole Charles Fort complete works, not just the Book of the Damned, his first book. All Charles Fort. So yeah, it's something to think about. It is something to think about. So just to catch you up real quick. So we're done with that file. I'm getting these little files out the way so we can, I don't want to. So orbs. We're talking about, I'm going to show you the reel from Ashton Forbes. I hope Ashton's in the chat. He was a great guest. I'll probably have him on again. We don't, like I said, we agree on everything except the fact that I'm of the opinion that this is highly technological because our experience is technological. We're inside of a construct, a mathematical construct. I call it the simulacrum. I used to call it the simulacrum. Why? Because I'm backwoods, East Texas. I guess you could call me a hillbilly. But I do get it. Ashton Forbes thinks it's military industrial complex stuff. He may be right. I don't know. If he's right, then that goes in tandem with another Archaix theory. And that Archaix theory is that there's a breakaway civilization in our underworld that has always had technology. And they're responsible for the preservation of our historical record, our libraries. They understand that the surface world is going through systemic phoenix resets, and they preserve technology, inventions, and all that. And at precise times, they release these things back into the public. And they're corporations and the corporations and companies that are involved in inventing and bringing these new discoveries to the field are actually hundreds, maybe thousands of years old. And all this legalese and all this stuff is very old. You guys have seen my 1902 videos and the high strangeness that happened in that year. It was a Phoenix year on the 138-year timeline. The next one's 2040. You guys know what's going to happen there. So now we have a unique situation. It's either a breakaway civilization of technological advancement that is in itself also participating in the systemic resets on the surface, or Ashton Forbes is wrong, and the overseers on the outside of the construct, or maybe AIX, Artificial Intelligence X, that's governing this construct, is responsible, and the orbs aren't what we've been thinking they are. Intelligences and divine beings and UFOs, and we call them UAPs now to be more sophisticated. What if the orbs are only the visual phenomena of things going on in a higher dimension that we at a lower dimension can only experience the effects of, but when we look at it, we see the orb? Let me show you, before we go deeper into this, and I'll show you some amazing clips. Let's go ahead and watch the short Malaysian flight. This is courtesy of Ashton Forbes. He's the one that he studied this airline disappearing by these three orbs. He has studied this in thermoluminescence. He has studied it in infrared. He has studied it using different filters. He's had other experts come to the table and study it. It is not a hoax. I know it's not a hoax by the 5-minute reel I showed at the beginning of this video, because it's happened. It's been happening for hundreds of years. Charles Fort has documented so many triangular UFOs that have appeared in the past. Call them UFOs, but they're really super constructions. They're really just visual phenomena that we can see of an apparatus for which the rest of it is invisible to us. Show this reel, and then we'll move on with this presentation. Show you some profound things. That's what this video is about. We're getting to the bottom of this. If orbs link all these different things, I need to show you where these orbs are doing all these different things. And I want to finish this video with showing you where the orbs have been documented and what's going on in Los Angeles. All right, so let's do it. Video present. Here's the reel. Oh, that's right. This reel was in silence because we were talking about it. How long is it? It's a few minutes long. I might not, well, it's kind of long. Yeah, man. You can see those. I think that's Ashton's cursor moving along the deal right there. But you can see those things right there. I'm going to disagree with Benny Riley. I'm going to disagree with Ken Wheeler if that's what he said. If he said the UFO, UAPs are field propulsion craft. You may be misquoting him. I don't believe he said that, man. Then again, he might have. Field propulsion craft would allude that they're occupied. Yeah, this is seen in several different deals. And remember, guys, from the historical record, we have a lot of incidents of this right here been recorded. They weren't making this stuff up 200 years ago, 150 years ago, 100 years ago. Charles Fort was citing all the eyewitness and scientific reports of the time. Eric Red, Malaysia footage is fake, dude. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've seen the debunking videos. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. You would literally have to go back into the historical record for the last 200 years and say that all these scientists are lying. Here's the books right here. You guys already know, man, I'm real short-tempered with these YouTube scholars. Whole education derives from just watching videos. Get off my channel. I don't really respect the Facebook educated. You guys trigger me. Yeah, Ashton Forbes has gone through and talked to all kinds of experts showing that these guys they're paid shills, the ones that are trying to debunk what happened here. If we have video footage from I mean, they did send that dude to prison. The guy that was monitoring all the military satellites around the world, he's just one of hundreds. And he had recorded this and released it to the public, and they got his ass. They prosecuted him. I'm pretty sure he signed an NDA. That's why they could prosecute him, not because he saw it and recorded it, but because part of his job is to maintain secrecy, and he violated that. Yeah, moderators, appreciate the vigilance. I got a lot of new people coming to my channel that have absolutely no idea of the vast amount of data sets that are provided in Archaix. So they come here triggered, and they don't know that the information is freely available to them. I don't have ads on my channel, but they come here with that toxicity. Listen, you guys, I've got zero tolerance. They bring that toxicity to my chat. X them out. X them out. I could care less about them. Now, yeah, that's Ashton Forbes has gone. He's gone over and beyond on the analysis of this incident. But to me, it's not even a mystery. The vanishing of this aircraft is not even a mystery. Before we even had technology to record this video, we already had it in the historical record that that has happened many, many times. They just didn't have the cameras to record it back then. Now we've got military satellites all over the entire world. And when I say satellites, I'm not talking about anything in space. I'm talking about they're all suspended on these giant helium balloons. And it's we've got pretty much 60-70% of the entire world covered with cameras. That's been known for a long time. Remember about this aircraft. Remember, there's still a bunch of mystery attached to this, such as the black box isn't supposed to stop giving a signal off. No, the aircraft's never been found. The black box would have had the aircraft located. Didn't happen. Yeah, it's got its own battery, it's got its own backup battery. It's also armored. They're almost impossible to destroy, and yet they don't know where this aircraft is. Yeah, it's just as dumb. Some of these YouTube channels that are trying to debunk this, they only do it with opinion. They don't do it with facts. So it's the same thing as what the government did. If they're on YouTube, you can look at them. But there's some quacks that released YouTube videos that were talking about crop circles are fake. Yeah, it's real easy for a farmer to put a stake in the middle of his cornfield and to use a rope and tie it to his tractor and go in the circle. It's the dumbest explanation I've ever heard for such a meticulous phenomenon. If you don't know about agriglyphs, they're not just simple circles. And what happens to the corn or the wheat or the barley is unusual because we can't do it. We can't replicate it. If you bend these stalks, they snap, they break. But that's not what's happening with the agriglyphs, the corn. I'm going to show you patterns that no humans could have made with any equipment. The weave that is laid down and how none of them are broken is because they are chemically altered. People have been standing by a cornfield. There's been a bright flash of light, and then within 60 seconds, they'll look back and there's a whole elaborate pattern. Everything's there. Yeah. The people that say that this is fake and they try to debunk it, they're either paid shills or they have absolutely nothing to provide the community. So they're reaching. They're just trying to find things that they can do YouTube videos on because they just have absolutely no content. They can provide no value to the community, so they try to take it away. It's just, yeah, I get tired of the debunkers. There's a lot of things that can be debunked. I'm debunking stuff all the time, but you got to do it with data sets. You can't just do it. You can't just debunk things by opinion. You sound like a moron. So, yeah, you're going to see some awesome footage here in a minute. All right. I'm just making sure you guys can see what I see. Do you see what I see? Remember that song? Oh, there goes my Rottweiler. So remember, we're looking. This right here just concerns aircraft. We're going to be looking at orbs from different perspectives because remember, if something is true, we're going to be able to see it from multiple different vantage points. And so far, when it comes to the orbs, they seem to be related to all kinds of phenomena. All those people come up missing. They're not the only ones, though, guys. They are not the only ones. We have a lot of missing persons have happened in the Bermuda Triangle. Quite a few have happened in the Devil's Triangle off the coast of Japan. Devil's Triangle is also known for orb activity among the fisher folk. Remember, it was in Japan in 1707 when the tsunami came in and the Japanese saw a giant fiery orb inside the tsunami as it crashed in. So orbs are connected to missing persons as well. Betty Andresen, you've heard of the Andresen affair? Betty Andresen, 1967. She disappeared. It was connected to uh orb. She told her whole story. Alien abduction. She described the orbs and everything. Linda Cortiel, 1989, did the same thing. Whitley Strieber, in his book Communion, Orbs Everywhere, connected to alien abduction phenomenon. Whitley Strieber's book was 1984, 85, or 86. In that area. I read it years ago. Allagash abduction of 1976. Orbs are described by the abductees. It was 4 men in Maine. They were on a camping trip. They saw some orbs. Next thing you know, man, they went for a ride. Many of you from North Carolina know about the Brown Mountain lights in the Appalachian Mountains. Very, very famous orbs that are seen almost annually. I don't think they're linked to alien abduction phenomenon, missing persons, but these orbs are seen like will-o-wisps, but they act with intelligence. Kelly Cahill, the Kelly Cahill abduction of 1993 from Australia. She described being driving with her husband in the foothills, Dadendong foothills, and she reported seeing an orb-like object. And then she went for a ride. Yeah, it's crazy. It's I keep hearing the same heavy motor going by. All right, we're done with the video clip. Let's remove that. Yeah, Whitley Strieber's kind of weird. Let's see. I just saw Whitley Strieber. I just saw Whitley the other day on Jeff Mara. Jeff Mara just reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to come back on. I mean, I really don't. I like the guy, and the subject matter. I'm not an expert on OBEs and NDEs, and that's what his whole channel is about. I don't know. I might. If I do, I'm just going to bring a bunch of scientific material on reports on the stuff. I don't know. Let's see. I was invited to do a podcast on Iconic. Isn't that ironic that I was invited on Iconic? Isn't that something? I had just told my community about 2 or 3 days ago in a live video that I'm just not feeling it. I don't resonate. I'm not resonating with David Icke anymore, and I gave you the reasons why. I'm not gonna talk about it now. It's just, yeah, I declined. I'm not gonna do it. All right, let's see. All right, what we got here? Let's remove this. Remove from studio. Yeah, it's like Joe Rogan, man. I've told you guys, and I meant that with all sincerity in my heart. Joe Rogan can't invite me on his channel. Don't even ask me. Just don't even ask me. There's no way in hell. No way in hell I'm gonna let my name and my research be associated to the long list of shills that dude has recently had as guests on his channel. There's no way. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry, Victoria. I know you like him. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm not in resonance with that anymore. Been following David Icke on Twitter for a long time. I've made several comments under his deals, man. And you know what? I see his energy lately. I'm just not feeling it. Not feeling it. All right, let's see here. He's a good dude. He's partially responsible for waking me up with William Cooper. I read Children of the Matrix and I was seeing lizards everywhere. That was in the 90s. I was still Southern Baptist back then. All right, let's get on with this. Let's get on with this presentation. I got some juicy to show you. Oh man, let's share another one. Let's share another one. Man, I can't wait to get to this good stuff. Video file. All right, so we have. Here's a little simple one. Little simple one. Nothing big. It's a little simple one here. Might getting a little squabble here this afternoon. It's been a little while. I already got somebody finding out who that is because yeah. I'm in here recording and I got somebody revving her engine up out there. Absolute disrespect, especially since they've already been told. So they just gotta take their medicine when it comes. Somebody keeps going up and down the street. I will find out who that is as soon as this video's over. All right, cool. This is just orb activity that is seen over deals. Now, a lot of people call them UFOs. These are not occupied, guys. A lot of people are now moving toward the fact that they may be plasma. I'm going to tell you now, I don't know. I don't even know what plasma is. Like I said, I'm just a Central East Texas redneck little hick, and I don't know a damn thing about plasma. You can say plasma all day long. I don't know what it is, but I do know that I have video clips of these same balls dripping the same light that they're made of. Looks very unusual to me, but I also understand the difference between different field constructions. If we're in a mathematical construct that is predicated off the 135-degree angle, the hydrogen angle, which almost everything has hydrogen in it. The 135-degree angle and all its variants and fractals make up this reality as a backfield, like prime numbers are the backfield to all the numbers that are motive. Now, if we have a construct that has this amazing hydrogen angle everywhere in it, the 135-degree angle, but the motive parts are phi and pi and curvature, and these are the things that allow all these things to move, to be perceived by us. But rendered into arithmetic, we're in a field. We're in a mathematical field, the photo negative of a real reality that is somewhere else. We just believe it's real by virtue of the central nervous system. We process everything. We believe everything is physical and real, and that's fine. But it is the result of coding, programming. So we believe that this is a real reality. It's a mathematical construct. But beyond this construct is a greater arithmetic. Remember, the physicists can process everything up to 11 dimensions, but we understand there's a 12th dimension that contains all this like a Dyson shell. So what would the 12th dimension be? Well, it's going to be shaped something similar to a pentagonal dodecahedron. These were the conclusions of ancient Greeks over two millennia ago. So if another arithmetic, a higher dimension of mathematics exists, which I believe it does, then it would easily be able to come into our arithmetic and do all kinds of things that would be baffling to us. We're lower dimensional beings trying to make sense of higher dimensional activity. And in the physical realm, we process this as orbs. But the effects are volcanic activity, earthquake activity. The effects are all kinds of things. And when people come in close contact with that other arithmetic field, it's a dimensional envelope. It's really easy to imagine. Imagine a sphere that is operative off of pi and phi and the hydrogen angle right here. I said 135, but I should have said 105. The hydrogen angle right here. And then over here is a higher dimension of arithmetic. What happens when they collide? Nothing. When they overlap, we have an interference area. That interference area will always be subject to the higher dimension arithmetic. That means if you're caught in that interference fold, when the higher dimension of arithmetic retracts, you're going with it. So this is what we have here. Yeah, I don't believe these are craft at all. They don't act like craft. Oh, I don't believe they're occupied. I believe all that is psyop, just to get people to believe that these are whatever. I just don't. Yeah, this is something else. These are like transdimensional range finders. And the higher dimension of arithmetic can easily be operated by humans. Just like we're on the outside of the construct. In the beginning, God created man in his image. Why? What does that mean? It means that humans were made an express image of whoever's on the outside of the construct that put us here. So anyway, let's move on. Let's get rid of that one and go to the next one, because this is a show and tell. This is show and tell. We're going to get to the LA orbs here in a minute, but to understand transdimensional arithmetic and what happens when a higher dimension of mathematics comes in contact with a lower dimension of mathematics, it's very easy to understand what happens. Beautiful things can happen. I'm going to show you agriglyphs because they're not possible in our arithmetic. In the world that we live in the world of physics that we live in right now, what is happening with crop circles is impossible. But when you introduce an outside field and it interacts with the present field that we're in, it can create beautiful things. Not only is this the theory, I'm going to show it to you. Here it is. So we've all seen agriglyphs. We've all seen the agriglyphs. Let me show you some examples. Show you some examples right now. Actually, that's the wrong video. Let me find the right video. Present, share screen. I'm looking. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Some beautiful patterns. Look at the precision here. That's the Julia set. It's absolutely impossible for men to have made this. It is so precisely geometrically perfect. Most of these appeared in the 90s and thousands before 2010. You know what? We are looking at two-dimensional renderings of three-dimensional geometry. Process that for a minute. The existence of agriglyphs means that a higher order of existence is literally communicating with us. These are forms of communication. Is this new? No. Jason's been telling you that since 2011 when this book was published. I have two chapters on Stonehenge geometry. Stonehenge is right next to all these crop patterns happen in the vicinity of Stonehenge in that area and Wiltshire Plain. In my book, Anunnaki Homeworld, I've got a whole bunch of data on crop circles and how there's calendrical codes inside. They're forms of communication. Let me pour this coffee. I'm gonna blow you guys' mind with some information that we've never discussed in Archaix. These are two-dimensional renderings of three-dimensional geometry. Oh, this isn't just me trying to sound smart. I'm going to show you what these turn into in 3 dimensions. The reason I'm showing you crop circles is because in the entire genre of crop circle, they're called agriglyphs. In agriglyph research, orbs are everywhere. They're seen by so many locals that it's not even a mystery anymore. Not even a mystery. This is the mowing devil right there. That picture right there, that last one, that's the mowing devil. 1678. That pamphlet was going around. Remember what I've told you guys in the past. The aliens, the ETs and stuff, the ancient aliens and all that, ancient aliens, whatever. Everything is by frames of reference according to the mindset of the culture that invests that belief. In the 14, 15, and 1600s, it was fairy rings. It was fairy circles. This is what it was. They don't believe that no more. We've upgraded. We've become more sophisticated. So now we talk about ETs and aliens. It's the exact same thing. Back then, in the 1600s, it was a puritanical society. It was a Puritan society. So it wasn't even a fairy anymore. The fairies were gone, and now the good Christian folk believed in devils. So it was the mowing devil. The mowing devil was the one that was making those crop circles. But it doesn't. But nothing changed. Remove that. Let's go find the next share and tell, show and tell. Remove that from studio. Okay. MR Lemus. She says, dumb question. No, it's not. Why don't the crop circles appear on parking lots? Do circles appear in people's lawns? All right. I don't know if they've appeared on people's lawns. I don't know of any crop circles that would fit on somebody's lawn, unless their lawn was very, very big. Some of the circles I just showed you have a 900-foot diameter. Now, I don't want to get into crop circle phenomena here. And my previous video called the mowing agriglyphs and the mowing devil, I give you the specifics. I'm going to provide the link in the description box. But the specifics go into the scientific analysis of what's really happening to the plants, because we can't do that to the plants. They are woven together and laid down perfectly. We can't do that without breaking them. So, nor can we do it in seconds or minutes, such as been recorded. We have it in documented that Cessnas, privately owned Cessnas, have passed over a field, and 1 hour or 2 hours later passed over the same field, and during the daytime, and all of a sudden there's an elaborate, a massive pattern. No one could have done it unseen, and no one could have done it in the short period of time that Cessna went somewhere and came back. So anyway, these are messages in the fields. I think it's very interesting because humans are considered, in the most ancient religious context, humans are considered to be the harvest. We're considered to be the harvest. In ancient Sumerian, when the sky rained destruction on the field and on the harvest, it was called an Orb, A-R-U-B. And the word Orb literally describes a plow striking the ground, breaking up the earth to start the field anew. It's a reset symbol. The plow. Remember that, because you see plows, you see the plow symbol cleverly put in a bunch of Renaissance and medieval art. Remember, the plow, it's not about a farmer plowing. The plow symbol is a reset symbol. All right, let's go with so I showed you the agriglyphs. Now, gonna have to show you some interesting stuff. So I showed you the agriglyphs, so now I have to make the connection. Why, Jason? Why did you show us? You were doing good, so showing us orbs. Now all of a sudden you went straight to crop circles. So now I have to show you why. And then we're going to talk about crop circles for a minute before we get to LA. Let me share video file. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna remove the audio. I didn't remove the audio. Do you see that? It's not a lot. It's just a short little clip. This is recorded. This is recorded in the 90s. It has been studied over and over and over by many different people, and it has been declared authentic. It shows two orbs. It shows two orbs over a cornfield. As they're flying in circles, the crop circle appears. It's old footage from the 90s, guys. There's an aerial shot right there. Okay, so I'm going to remove that one, and then I have a longer one. It's the same one added with others. It's the same one added with others. Here it is here. This is a longer clip. So he's looking at a field where a crop circle appeared, and if you look real closely, you can see the two orbs. They're going in a circle. They're going in a circle, flying around. This is the original video I showed you a minute ago, but a filter has been applied so you can see the orbs better. Look at that. Look at that. That's a good magnification. It's a good oh, look at this. This was on the news. Look at the orb passing over the contrails. Look at the orb flying across the screen. Now it's a blow up of the same thing. A ceremony where red, white, and blue contrail jets An orb just passed right over the contrails during the news footage. Yeah, man. Them orbs are flying. I don't know what it is about the United Kingdom, but I do know that within 3 to 10, 12 feet below the topsoil of England, Scotland, Wales, Cornwall, and Ireland is an older infrastructure. A lot of it is Heliolithic and Technolithic architecture that I've talked about a lot. One of the most expansive infrastructures in the world is underneath the UK. Yeah, it's got stone circles and roads like dirt and huge fortifications and star forts, Durrington walls. And the UK is packed full of anomalies. Stonehenge isn't the only thing. Yeah, the UK is very old. It also has very ancient traditions of all kinds of invasions. It's got traditions of giants, traditions of the Grendels, of the trolls, of traditions of Tuatha Danann, the Furbolgs, the giants called the Fomori. A lot of traditions. Yeah, the Romans weren't really responsible for anything in the UK. All the Romans did is the same thing Romans have always done everywhere. They go build over infrastructure that's already there. They just repaired it, made it better after it was ruined. So in the prior videos, as I explained, we have the orbs are associated to the inside. Remember, in the prior videos, I show you guys where in the historical record, farmers in the basements of their houses were looking up as tornadoes were passing, ripping their houses apart, and they saw on the inside of the funnel of the tornado, they saw an orb, just spinning peacefully, little orb. What? Volcanoes, orbs, earthquakes, orbs, tidal waves, orbs. So orbs have all they create phenomena. This is what they're doing. And this is what I just showed you in this video. Orbs are creating phenomena, but in this case, it's communication. All right, we're done with that one. Moving on. Moving on. Share my screen. So in 2009, 2008, and 2009, I wrote this book. And right now, you can't see it, can you? Am I not sharing the right screen? Why can't you guys see this? Oh, okay. I see. There it is. All right. Okay, so you can see cool. You can see it. Thank you, Face Diver. All right. This book was researched and written. It's my third published book. 2 chapters on breaking down the geometry of Stonehenge and showing how it's a lithic calendar. And I show how the crop circles are also calendrical codes, many of them. I give many demonstrations throughout the work. Let me see if I can. Why can I not? That's interesting. Why would I not be able? Oh, because that was at the end. There it is. So here's the Julius set from July 7th, 1996. That's the Julius set. Look how close it is to Stonehenge. Stonehenge is right there at the top. There's Stonehenge. Julius set is right there. Julius set is remarkable. thing is 900 feet wide. It's crazy. So the exact same formula I applied to the Julia set, I applied to every single one of them, and I showed these remarkable numbers that are formed, such as the number 414, 4140. My Archaix veterans already know. Right here, the Julia set is connected to the Phoenix phenomenon. 414 is divisible by 138. I show this in this book. Remember, this is 2011. The subject matter of my book was showing the public that nothing's going to happen in 2012. According to all the ancient calendars, 2012 is a dead year. It's a null year. We have all sorts of null years in the historical record where on none of the 41 ancient and modern calendars does the year signify anything important at all. They're just null years. 2012 was one of those null years, but everybody was hyped up to believe that something was going to happen because of a mistranslation of the Mayan long count. 1952, the scholars didn't know. I don't want to beat y'all up with that. Y'all have heard me talk about it all the time. But I showed the accurate rendering of the Mayan long count has it ending in 2046, not in 2012. So anyway, I show how the Fibonacci spiral, which is, there's no such thing as a Fibonacci spiral. It's actually a Fibonacci sequence, but it's the golden proportion spiral. It's phi. This is the golden mean. So after that, we have the triple set. Here's the Julia triple set. I got a better picture of it here. Instead of one Julia set, we have a triple set. Why do you think it was necessary to do a triple set? Because even in 1996, when the Julia set appeared, it was so advanced and so geometrically perfect. The shills were out in droves, all claiming it's all fake. Men did that and all that, and it's not. So if you were on the outside of the construct trying to communicate an idea on the inside of the construct, and your first communication as an advanced Julia set was not taken seriously, what would you do? You would do something like the triple Julia set. Now nobody can debunk it. It's like, wow, that's amazing. There's no way in hell a tractor could have got in and out and not made any tracks to do all. You need to see some real photos of it to be very impressed. So we have the necklace. Very unusual crop pattern. It's called the pointer formation. It looks it reminds you perfectly of a necklace with a comet in the middle about to hit something. It's all here. It's all here. The arithmetic shows real easily the breakdown of the Mayan calendar mathematics. The necklace, satellites, all this is an Anunnaki homeworld. Books on Amazon, or you can call 1-800-700-TREE, my publisher. All kinds of amazing crop patterns. Remember, these are just two-dimensional renderings. I'm going to show you what they look like in 3 dimensions here in a minute. Again, I'm going to show you especially this one in 3 dimensions. It's amazing. This is triple Julia set. This is 6 Julia sets. Instead of 1 Julia set in a triple Julia set, this is 6 Julia sets right here. It's crazy. Here's an actual photo of that. There's no way men did this. There's no way. And anybody trying to debunk crop circles, they don't try to debunk these big ones here. Look, these are tiny, tiny spheres at the very end of these. Each one of these is almost like a Fibonacci spiral sequence right here. Each one of them is, not a sequence, but an angle. Every single one of them. And they're perfect. They're absolutely perfect. Show you all the arithmetic, how it breaks down, how these are calendrical codes. All this is in my book. I'm not going to go too much detail into all that. Here's another one. Wiltshire. The same one right here. I don't know why it's... There we go. Oh, it's upside down now. There we go. Yeah, man. Milk Hill Formation. Yeah, look at that. That's really interesting. Here's the double helix formation, 1996 in June. Looks like DNA. This one's really interesting. Discovered in Longwood, Warren. Look at that. What do you think that is? I'm going to tell you what it is. That's a date. That's a date. That is super interesting because this shows the asteroid belt according to the model that we understand. I don't really buy into that model, but this is the one that the collective accepts. Here are the orbital belts on the plane of the ecliptic. These are the positions of the inner planets because we know this because this is the asteroid belt. And what's very interesting about this right here is this is our solar system according to what the collective believe, minus Earth. Earth is missing. Remember, I've told you guys in the past about the Titius-Bode law. The Titius-Bode law says there's a perfect mathematical pattern starting with Mercury from the surface of the sun, and the type of measurement shows us where Venus is. And then Venus's distance from the surface of the sun shows us where Mars is. Then Mars's distance from the surface of the sun shows us where the asteroid belt is. Then the asteroid belt, which formerly would have been a world, maybe Tiamat, I don't know, but its distance from the surface of the sun is exactly where we find the next world, which would be Jupiter. The pattern continues with Saturn. The pattern discontinues with the two gas giants, Neptune and Uranus, that switch places twice a year or once a year. So yeah, it's all very interesting. So 2046, this is showing the date of 2046. But the world's missing. Why is the world missing? What do we find out about the end of the Mayan long count? Time collapses. The third trumpet of the book of Revelation, what happens? 1/3 of the sun, 1/3 of the moon, 1/3 of the day, 1/3 of the night, 1/3 of the stars, 1/3 of mankind is eliminated, meaning a 365.24 year, 1/3 removed becomes 243 days. Meaning a 24-hour day becomes 16 hours, meaning the sky moves faster now. The sun and the moon move faster now. This is going to change human physiology. There's going to be all kinds of changes. Where do we find more evidence of that? The prophecies like 1st and 2nd Esdras that talk about these changes that are going to come. Where do we find more evidence of this strange collapse of time? We find out in other prophecies concerning the quickening. And we find out in the book of Revelation that the dragon panics and becomes wrathful because now he knows his time is short. And we find out that had not those days be shortened, all flesh would be saved. So we have a model here that shows us what our sky is supposed to look like in 2046. Earth is gone. And then we have this crop pattern here, which is amazing because it shows 13 pyramids right here. There's 13 pyramids. But it has all these little other circles that look like incoming bolides, incoming comets or something. But when you take the 13 pyramids, 12 perimeter pyramids on a large pyramid, 13 is the number that identifies the Americas. What happened? What was the Mayan long count? Remember, I told you guys many times, we're dealing with an advanced civilization in the ancient world that knew its own technology wasn't going to survive. So it built the Great Pyramid, which preserves the arithmetic that we need to decode today to understand what's going to happen in 2040, 2046, and 2106. I've made many, many videos demonstrating all of this. The Great Pyramid is a lithic representation in 3 dimensions of basically linear time and the events that will unfold and the mathematics that we need to understand in order to survive whatever reset is going to happen. It's all encoded in the Great Pyramid. But 13 is the number of the Americas. The ancient world was divided into 12 divisions, but the Americas were on one side of the Atlantic, on the other side was the Pacific, on the other side of the world, whether it's a flat disk or a globe, either way, the Americas are completely isolated. It is considered the 13th zone. 13 was the number of ancient America. 13 is a holy number, and the number of the calendar round for the Zapotec and the Quichua and the Aymara and the Olmec and the Inca, the Maya, The Mayan long count is 13 bactons. Each bacton is an epic. The Mayan long count believed at the end of 13.0.0.0.0.0, which was 1,872,000 turnings of the stars, 52 centuries on a 360-day calendar. When that day came, time would collapse under the 13 heavens, and the 13 hells would release an army of demons that would come up and attack the denizens of the world. This is Mayan prophecy. So we have number 13 signifies Americas. This crop agriglyph right here is 33 large circles, 62 tiny circles. The formula is very easy. 33 times 62 is 2046. The same year Douglas Vogt says that we're going to have a pole shift. It is the first year of the new world's calendar after everything collapses, according to David Davidson, who measured the base diagonals of the Great Pyramid in Egypt and found out that the Great Pyramid is a three-dimensional geodetic timeline, and that the final year of the Great Pyramid's timeline, where the Great Pyramid is signifying that our present world's ability to maintain a calendar ends in 2045. That's not my research. That was published in 1926. I've showed that on my channel many times. 2046 is the date of the end of the Mayan long count. It is also the return, as I've showed multiple times in multiple presentations and published books. 2046 is the return of the Nemesis X object. All right. So that's all in Anunnaki Homeworld with a whole bunch of other stuff about the pre-flood world and all that. But that book was published in 2011, before 2012. It never got recognition, even though there was hundreds of books out about 2012. A bunch of those authors, there's some of them very popular today. I'm not gonna shame them right now, but there's many of them that you know their names to, and they're very quiet about it. But they were super huge. You know who they are. They were super huge on the 2012 PSYOP. Let's get up out of here. So we have linked orbs to all this phenomena. And like I said, at the end of the video, there are 6 links of these videos here. I'm going to show them one more time before we continue. Get this out of here. Stop screen, prepare, share screen. Because I know we got new listeners since we started this video. When this video is over, you're going to see. Let me find it again. All right, when this video is over, you're going to see these 6 titles with the links in the description box and the pinned comment. This is where I discuss all this super constructions in the sky, all this phenomena, orb activity, vanishings, all this stuff is in these videos, prior Archaix presentations, right here. But now I need to show you. Now I need to show you the why it was important for you to see that orbs are making these crop circles. Orbs are causing these hurricanes, causing these tornadoes, causing cyclones. They have this vortex power, this ability to rapidly spin and then suck in the energy around them and create storms. They are creating these thunderstorms. They are creating volcanic activity. They're creating earthquake activity. The orbs are also being used to create these beautiful forms of communication. Agriglyphs, that's what they are. They're forms of communication that teach us more about the construct that we're inside right now. How do I know that? Let me show you. Let me show you what they're demonstrating for us. Remember, we have probably ourselves operating from a higher dimension of arithmetic, looking into an artificial construct where we are experiencing things in 4 dimensions. but they're operating from a higher dimension, so they're able to do things that we misconstrue. But this is what they're communicating to us right here. All right, stop screen. I need to present video file. Yeah, I know you guys can see that. If you were to take a two-dimensional agriglyph crop circle and render it into 3 dimensions, it will teach you more about vortex math. It will teach you about basically the simulacrum, this beautiful construct that we find ourselves in, and the operative geometry, the things geometry will teach us lessons about actual physics, real physics, not this Newtonian bullshit that's been passed off on to us. These are the things that are conveyed in sacred geometry in 2 dimensions. I'm going to show that again. But this is what a crop circle looks like. This is the information being conveyed. We're seeing amazing torus field mechanics here. All kinds of principles of sacred geometry are in here and rendered in 3 dimensions, coming out of 2-dimensional crop circles made by the very orbs that are also creating earthquake, volcano, cyclone, hurricane, tsunami phenomena. I'm going to show it 1/3 time, and we're going to continue on. I can imagine that we're being shown right here a propulsion source. I'm gonna go back to that. You're being shown right here that if we can create an engine that can replicate this, it would actually be transdimensional. We would be able to go in and out of different mathematical constructs. We're very limited in 4 dimensions, but we're being shown things in multiple dimensions right here. Torus field mechanics. I've shown in earlier presentations on my channel that the simulacrum is literally a massive torus field, and that the realm of experience is on the plane, and that the inside of the torus field on the top is what we refer to as the dome. It's a multi-tiered hologram that replicates, that mimics, parallax, and makes us believe that space is deep. Think about it. Look at this right here. Imagine that we are in the inside. Imagine that we're on the inside of this. We're experiencing 2 different geometries at the same time. We're in the middle where my cursor is. Now, when you see all these tubular layerings, imagine each one being a holographic field of space that we're looking on. So when we look up at the night sky, we're looking at multiple layers of holography that makes it look very real to us. Let me start that over again. Each one of these is a layer of the sky that we're looking up into. We're tiny. We're at the dead center of experience. We're tiny. This whole thing is showing the construct. Different ways to show it. So I promised you guys to show you why all of this relates to LA and what's going on in Los Angeles. So let's get to it. I'm gonna remove that. Anunnaki Homeworld, my book, Anunnaki Homeworld, you can find it on Amazon, or you can just call my publisher. Video can't go too far because I think I got about 2 swallows. Let's remove that. Remove this from studio. That's the 3 dimensions. Let's get to LA. Yeah, this is crazy. Share my screen again. I'm moving right along, man. 1 hour and 37 minutes. What happened to my 3.5, 4 hour videos? All of a sudden in 2025, I just started, I don't know what happened. I started cutting them short. Let's see. Next video. I think I have a podcast coming up real fast. I know Michelle Gibson's coming on. I don't know, but one of my next videos presentations is going to be Heliolithic and Technolithic ancient architecture, because I see that there's just so many people unleashing all these megalithic architecture, and they're not giving you details because they just don't know them. And you can tell by looking at them what time period they were. I go into Technolithic, post-Technolithic, and Heliolithic. The Heliolithic Maritime Empire, when it collapsed in the Ogygian Deluge in the year 1687 BC. So we're going to, instead of talking about the Phoenix phenomenon and what happened in these ancient resets, we're going to actually look at the architecture, and it tells us a story. So that's my next one. We're going to be looking at hundreds of pictures of ancient megalithic sites, and I'm going to be teaching you guys the difference between Technolithic, post-Technolithic architecture and Heliolithic megalithic architecture from the Sun Kingdoms empires that collapsed in 1687 BC. All right. Oh, my other announcement before we get to LA. My other announcement. I believe tomorrow. We are. Our max capacity is 120. We're taking OFIS subscribers for the beta testing. It's 6 months. You're really going to like the deal. But we're going to be taking everybody's output and putting into a program, and it's going to help us. It's going to help us understand basically all the things that we can do with the software. And yeah, we have 2 different applications that you can sign up for. One is personal, one is markets, and we're going to have fun. But it's 180-day testing, and it's very interactive for the subscribers. But we are capped out. Our saturation point is 120 because subscriptions come with 60 predictions and 60. I mean, you can submit as many as 12 dates that you want analyzed all in one prediction. You'll get your predictions chart. You'll see the readout. You'll know exactly what the symbols mean, the exact dates that you're looking for, and you got 60 predictions to use in a 180-day period. And like I said, in the future, we may have the app developed to where thousands of people can use it, but right now we have to cap it at 120 because that's our saturation point, and that's what our metric is going to be based off of anyway in our program. Anyway, more I'll be announcing that tomorrow in the specifics and giving the order link. Well, actually, there's no order link. You just go to the website; it has its own payment processing. Let's see. Last thing I'm sharing is Los Angeles. What's going on? It's amazing stuff going on. Share my screen. Share screen. Okay. I told you earlier in this video that I'm not going to steal this guy's content. I'm not going to go in there and harvest his material. Casper's site. It's got an 871K subscribers. That's a lot. That's a lot. Now, Casper's site has been on top of the LA fires. He's got several videos. I'm going to provide a link to his channel with those 6 videos. Just give me 5 or 10 minutes after this video. While it's processing, I will add all these links in the description box for all these previous videos I did on orbs and this type of phenomena. Now, Casper's site provided some amazing. He's got 3 or 4 videos just on what the video footage of what people in LA are seeing. Yeah. You want to blame the elite for starting the fires. I get it. The evidence is that the elite are doing it. as far as the fact that the 2028 Olympics are going to be there. So maybe they're burning things down so they can rebuild. I don't know. It's supposed to be a smart city, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Or maybe these are things that were thrown out there as narratives so that we'll scoop them up because the elite actually know that our world is not what you think. One of my mantras for this channel. Tell you guys all the time, our world is not what you think. And many times I have alluded in my presentations that maybe we got things backwards. And that all this stuff that's going on in mainstream media and all these things that we believe to be true and all these controversies and all these morons and these idiots that are rulers and all that, maybe none of that's really happening. And maybe it's all smoke and mirrors and all these smoke trails are thrown out. Just like he said 100 years ago, there's an occult police force and it uses the mainstream media and everything else to put out every narrative in the world but the truth. Because in the digital universe, we're given all the evidence in the world that this is corporations, government, the elite, the deep state doing all this evil stuff in the world. But boots on the ground are seeing orbs. His videos are amazing. So this is the guy right here. You see right here, here's the orb right here. If you go to his channel and watch the videos, you can see this. I just took screenshots because I didn't want to harvest his material and repackage it on Archaix. I'm gonna let my community go, enjoy his material. I just want to show these right here. You see the orb flying across the screen. There it is. It's moved just a little bit. There it is again. It's moved just a little bit further. There it is again, steady moving. He shows the whole video, though. He doesn't show screenshots. He shows the whole video. I want you to go watch it. So, also over Los Angeles, during a newscast, this guy is doing a video showing the fires and the smoke. But this guy in the blue is like, WTF? What in the hell is this thing in the sky hiding in the clouds? It's like a super construction. So it goes behind the clouds in the video. You have to go watch the video. He's got a video of it. But it's a news broadcast. Isn't this crazy? I hear all these sirens right here going down a country road in Willis, Texas, at the same time as I'm showing all these fires. Yeah, he's showing all these little this is the actual video. I just took screenshots of it. But it's this object in the cloud over the fires of Los Angeles. Again, he shows, there it is. WTF is that. So, okay. You see this in the smoke, it's not a glowing orb. It's a black orb. That's what it is right there. But we've seen these things before. I even have a little, this is not a screenshot, guys. This is not a screenshot I'm about to show now. This is a, let me find that. This is a artist rendering of what people have seen. Sometimes the orbs in the sky go negative, like a photo negative. They go from bright and all of a sudden they're just jet midnight black, or they look like they're black with spots on them. So this is an artist rendering of what many people have described the orbs can become. They can become black. So here it is. That's just really interesting. I found that really interesting. And look at this. Look at this. This is not from his channel. This is from somebody else's channel. But this is LA. Orbs create tornadoes and cyclones and hurricanes. Orbs are responsible for all these things. They've been widely documented. And in LA, we have orbs being seen going in and out of the fires of LA by multiple cameras, multiple people, door cams. People are reporting all these orbs in LA, and here's a fire tornado in the LA fires. Maybe they're not connected, but it's very interesting. This shows you how intense those fires are. Yeah, that's crazy. So crazy. All right, so I will provide the link to man, I forgot his name. Oh, uh Casper site. There it is. I'll provide the link to Casper site in this video. I'm going to tell you something else he shows. You're going to want to watch that video. The video where he shows the super construction in the sky and the orb going over. I'm going to tell you now, you're going to want to watch that video. The reason you're going to want to watch it is because you're going to see very clear footage during the LA fires of an apparition-like thing right there on the coast flying around. And he's studying it and looking at it. And when I saw it, I had goosebumps. I'm like, wow, this is the same thing that came out of that tsunami in Japan. Remember that specter that I showed in that video clip? It's in one of the 6 videos that I provide the links for at the end of this video. But remember the specter? It came out of the tsunami, went up like a pier, and went in between buildings. And then on the camera, it was caught going up over a building further away. See, it's like a veil. It's a veil, but it moves with intelligence. Came out of the water as people were dying and drowning in Japan in 2011 in a tsunami. It came out of the tsunami and went on land and flew around. And the same thing we're looking at in LA, caught on tape, is the exact same little specter veil flying around right there as the fires are burning, and it's right there next to the water. So, yeah. That concludes my presentation, guys. I just wanted to show you orbs. Orbs have been seen all around the LA fires. Orbs have been recorded for hundreds of years during earthquake activity, violent thunderstorms, volcanic eruptions. Orbs are seen going in and out of the volcanoes. Orbs are attached to the concept of missing time dilations, missing persons, the alien abduction phenomenon. Orbs are a part of all that. I showed you, like Ashton Forbes is very well documented, orbs forming a trigon spinning in the air, creating some type of bridge between our arithmetic and a arithmetic somewhere else. Because that plane literally flew right into the interference field. And remember what I told you, anytime lower dimensional arithmetic comes in contact with higher dimensional arithmetic, anything in the lower field that gets caught in the interference field gets taken into the higher dimensional arithmetic. So it's a more powerful mathematics. This is what's happening. That's my presentation, guys. I think I kept it at 2 hours. 1 hour and 50 minutes. Thank you for joining me. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing a very short video. I'm just going to tell you now, I may even take the video down really fast because I don't know how fast we're going to hit our saturation point. But I'm going to do a video, and then once that's been met, that threshold's been met, I'm going to take that video off. We have a lot of people I know that want to participate. Let's see, add the stage. Stop screen. All right. Yeah, man. It's so I'm gonna share one more time. I'm gonna share my screen one more time. I'm sharing this one more time, just so you'll know. Right here are the 6 videos where I talk about all the strange phenomena in the skies. The reasons why I believe we live in a controlled construct are right here in these 6 videos. These 6 videos are all about super constructions and aerial phenomena and unusual things that have happened in the skies that cannot happen in the world that's been presented to us, in the world that we've been educated to believe that we live in. All 6 of the links for these videos will be in my description box and pinned comment as soon as I exit this video. And it's been a while. It's been a while. So let's go ahead and hit that amazing outro. Love you guys.